Hi everyone, my name is Camelia and I work with the melt method to stimulate hydration in the tissues of the body and improve neuromuscular connectivity between the brain and our periphery, which is our feet and hands. And I want to give a short example to explain what does hydration actually mean. The connective tissue, let's imagine, is underneath your skin, but it also is like a helix that wraps around with these slimy collagen-y threads, like a spider web that wraps around all of your muscles and connects the muscles. So like from the finger into the forearm, into the upper arm, into the shoulder blade, up into the neck, into the skull. So the collagen-y spider web of your body is everywhere. So if I do something to my hands, I'm gonna stimulate some connectivity between the brain and this part of my body to wake up the neuroreceptors here and light them up in the brain. But also I am going to stimulate local fluid exchange here, encouraging some through compression, some dispersal of adhesions, and inviting fluid exchange between the interstitial fluid between the cells and into the cells and out. So improving the pooping out of metabolic waste and the fluid flow and receptivity of nutrients into every cell. So I'm improving cellular health, but also triggering that fluid exchange up towards the shoulder girdle and into the spine, where we don't want to work on the spine directly. So we prefer to stimulate that fluid exchange and start to hydrate around the spine to release the neck and lower body. Now, how does this happen? We learn to feel ourselves through touch and compression with these balls. And the touch and compression is really giving me information, feedback for my awareness to start understanding, is my connective tissue adaptable? Is it well hydrated and kind of slimy so that it can adapt when compressed, when touched, when I'm doing something, when I'm picking and gripping something? If I'm gripping something, my connective tissue needs to adapt to the compression. If it hits it and it's like a sponge, like for dishes that's been out of use and not been underwater for a while, it becomes really rough and hard to squeeze and plump up back to its original shape. It might squeeze and then just stay that way because it's not adaptable. So what we're working on when we say hydration is the adaptability of your tissues so that the bones inside can compress against the tissue and the tissue can take the compression, respond, and come back to its most functional shape, so it doesn't get stuck somewhere and like get kind of stultified in a shape without plumping back up and being available for the next movement. So if it gets kind of adhered to a shape and it's not so bouncy back, then the bone's gonna hit there and it's kind of ramming it up into a shape, and it loses its hydration, its fluidity inside, the watery base, which is bound water, not simple drinking water, but it stifles its ability to come back to suppleness, and then that will start to affect how mechanical force travels into your skull. Might give you neck pain, and it might start to the connective tissue that wraps around the nerves might start to also get a little bit adhered, and then the nerve cannot glide and you might start getting nerve compression. So when we do hand treatments, we're really improving the hydration of the tissue to allow it to be adaptable. And to do that, we have to first learn to hear how is it in the moment. Is it adaptable, and where does it have adhesions? And what kind of touch and compression with the ball might support us to break down the adhesions and invite fluid flow without going into pain and causing injury to solve injury. So we want to learn to do it in a gentle and skillful way to stimulate fluidity, and also in a way reconnect our hands to our head, because the hands are neurologically very intense spaces, and even movement and space, our hands give us a lot of feedback. So by having more feedback and more awareness in our hands, we feel more grounded and more able to move into space. We're more confident. So when I teach you neurofascial techniques, I'm not only resolving chronic pain and giving and helping you develop more hydration, more suppleness in your joints so that they don't feel compressed and give you pain or nerve compressions, but I'm also helping you become a more confident mover, because you begin to sense in with your body and it starts to automatically recalibrate and respond to your environment and to your desire to move in space. So you become a confident mover, and that will serve you in any kind of sport you're doing, any kind of daily activity. You will become a more supple, better hydrated body, and also a more confident mover. So I hope this explains what hydration of tissues means and how it helps tissues to become more adaptable to compression and its interaction with bones and outside mechanical force, even gravity compressing us. And as we age more and more, we need to develop skills for hydration, because we don't want to become stiff. We don't want to buy into that storytelling that tells us that aging means you're just going to be stiffer. No. Yes, collagen quality shifts in the body, collagen production shifts, but there are ways to stimulate collagen so that the suppleness of the body is continuously restored. It's like brushing your teeth. So learn to hydrate using neurofascial techniques. If you want to have a session with me or a consultation, send me an email and reach out. And I work one-on-one because I feel that supports people to better understand their body, because everybody has different sensations and different compensations. But also, if you want to join 2 or 3 friends together to learn the simple techniques, that is a good way to start, and it can optimize your costs and it could be more fun. But if you have specific chronic issues in your body, I encourage you to do 2 or 4 months one-on-one sessions with me. Have a great day and drink water.